In every generation, there are men and women who think far less of their own welfare than of the needs of others. In a world of violence and deprivation, a few have chosen to make the lives of the less fortunate a bit better, have actively used their talents, energies, reputations, even wealth to relieve misery and hopelessness. Their motivations vary. They are simply among the best of us. In the Sinhalese tongue, Sri Lanka means beautiful island, an island to which tourists once came. For the beaches, for the tropic breezes, on an island dangling like a ripe date off the southern tip of India, but no more. Not since the killing began. Killing? This man has seen it. Killing that began as a Sinhalese versus Tamil ethnic struggle that has since been fanned into a political firestorm. This man's family has watched him try to dam the tide of death with Gandhian nonviolence and starkly practical altruism in a country brought to a standstill by incomprehensible hatred.
When you respect all life, you just cannot shut your eyes when people are hungry, when people are fighting, when people are sick, or when people are not educated. So you have to go in search of those who are hungry, uneducated, ill and depressed. Do something to bring about a change in their life.
A.T. Ariyaratne is the founder and force behind Sarvoja, once a small agricultural program for villagers, now Sri Lanka's most powerful peace movement. Sarvoja has established a network of centers that function as orphanages, last resorts for the disabled, the jobless, the homeless. From these, Ari directs a program that reaches down into 8,300 individual villages, where 37% of Sri Lanka's population lives under the protection and influence of the movement. Ariyaratne is a Buddhist, and Buddhism is at the heart of his philosophy. But in a land split by secularism, he is non-aligned, non-political.
This is one of the oldest stupas in the country, built during the 3rd century before Christ. It's a very sacred place to Buddhists. It was here that a couple of weeks ago, there was an anti-government demonstration, and the demonstration was fired at by the security forces, both from the ground and from a helicopter. People say over 100 people were killed, and blood freely flowed in this place. So even now, sacred Buddhist places are today not safe from these brutal killings.
The situation has deteriorated a lot, hasn't it, since we were there last?
Right.
And you think it is the police who are doing this? There are police death squads.
Most of the police people have nothing to do with this kind of thing.
Journalists trust him, for he has no side but that of the people. He speaks as freely against the government as he does of rebels.
And do this kind of thing.
In a country where life is so brutalized, where it has become so militarized in the last year or two, he is somebody who is in close contact and is respected by all levels, particularly the poor, the people who in a country like this perhaps do not have a great voice, apart from through people like him.
49,000 young people working in 8,000 villages.
Sarvoja is a movement, not a party. But where anarchy rules, Ari's passports can sometimes protect his own workers, 17 of whom have already been killed.
Actually, it is this card that saves their life. He was tortured by the civilized Indian army. I speak the blunt truth. If it helps to bring about peace and sanity, if I had to pay with my life, I don't care, because there are a few millions helpless but good people in the country who will continue to do the work. Every day lots of letters like this are coming to the center. These are all from people whose brothers and sisters have been taken by people who come wearing masks, blindfolded, and they are taken away to various places, tortured and killed.
Busa detention camp. Terrorists or merely Sri Lankans caught in the crossfire? Ari wants to find out.
I stand for non-violence and above this factionalism. So they knew by my going inside the camp, I will not do any kind of mischievous thing, harmful to anybody.
Whoever the prisoners are, they are his people, and he brings them the message of non-violence and spirituality.
When a nation hasn't got even one person out of 100 who believe in releasing a spiritual energy, that will make people non-violent and just. Such a society will have individuals with a chaotic state of mind where they don't know what they are doing. They've forgotten that there's a spiritual energy, spiritual force which also control our life.
Though Sarvoja has a spiritual thrust, Ari is the one Sri Lankan who can reach any ethnic group. Compassion is understandable to all.
In meditation, when you begin to still your mind, you can look at not only your own self, but entire humanity with great compassion. And if a community of people can develop this love, in such communities there will be less violence. I think every human being one day has to lead a spiritual life. Being human being is for that purpose, not to become a millionaire or a president of a state or something like that. All that is secondary. Liberation from greed, ill will and ignorance should be the final objective of any human being.
Yet there is more to the movement than meditation and goodwill. With donations of their own labor, as well as help from foreign benefactors, Sarvoja followers have established one of Sri Lanka's largest printing facilities to earn money for the movement. Sarvoja helped re-establish batik making as a Sri Lankan industry. Sarvoja is also the biggest wheelchair manufacturer in the country, which not only provides income but creates jobs. Other skills, such as sewing, are taught at the centers to handicapped villagers, who can then go back home with a viable trade. Well over 30,000 Sri Lankans have already been trained in trades by Sarvoja. The centers also shelter hundreds of children, orphaned by political or communal violence.
Sometimes some of these children are abandoned in railway tracks, jungles, police stations, physically disabled or malnourished, who have no parents. So as many as we can, we look after in our homes.
Ari established Sarvoja in 1958 as a farm redevelopment movement. Its efforts at fostering peace came later as a result of the civil strife, when Sarvoja was already the largest rural organization in the country. Ari neither needs nor wants government approval. This is one village that has chosen to dig and bridge its own irrigation canal.
We reject every kind of ism, whether it is capitalism or socialism or any ism. Instead, we believe in a participatory people's politics. That is, people getting together and coming to decisions by consensus. For the community to think together, work together, and then make new plans together.
Though 25% of Sri Lanka's population are full members of his movement, Ari has no political ambitions.
I am very much involved in politics, but not in power politics, not in party politics. Politicians talk about grabbing power for themselves and then solving problems. I am teaching the people how to solve the problems by themselves without grabbing power.
Sri Lanka is in one of its frequently declared states of emergency. The rebels demand that stores be closed and will kill drivers or shopkeepers doing business. Yet the government requires all stores to remain open. There's a prohibition against gatherings of 4 or more individuals. And though they know they are being watched by informants, the defiant 1,500 meet in a small village on the outskirts of Colombo, the capital, to join Ari in a dangerous peace march. Sri Lankans have been tortured and even killed for less by soldiers, by police, by rebels.
They believe that there should be peace and we can bring about social change by non-violent means. Because justice and peace should go together. Because there can never be peace without justice. When people are hungry, there can't be peace.
Each of us can create change if we believe that one heart touched will touch another in an endless chain far stronger than any form of repression.
We have enough resources in this country to give a fair standard of living for all people without quarreling ourselves like that and without militarization of our country. We can be really the center for peacemaking in the world. I'm an ordinary human being with all the weaknesses that other human beings have, but who love my people, who believe very strongly that any problem can be solved non-violently.